Hello everyone, welcome back to the Black Gentleman's Culture Premium Cigar Spirits channel. Today we are out front with the Gueguense, the Wiseman, Toro Huaco. This is a 6x56 stick, and this is a Nicaraguan Puro. We have a Colorado wrapper, and it's covering a jalapa binder, and then the tobacco inside that is from Jalapa and Estelle. Now let's get into it. On the body you get a musty smell, and off of the foot you get a soapy and an earth smell. On the cold draw you get a light sweetness coming off of this cigar, and it's very, very fresh. I mean, it's like almost syrupy off of the cold draw. Now, outside of that, like I said, this is a 6x56 stick, and today I decided to pair this with some Rebel Yell straight Kentucky bourbon. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get in through the first third, and I'm going to come back and let you know how it's going. Now, just to let you know, I'm not trying to tell people to run out and blow all their cash. These two together, the cigar and the whiskey, is a total basically of, let's just round it up, 30 bucks. $20 for the bottle, $10 for the stick. And like I said, at this point, I'm going to go ahead and I'll be back at the first third to let you know how the stick is doing. What's up, everyone? Again, like I said, I'm having the Gueguense cigar, the Toro Huaco, and I'm enjoying it, like I said, with this Rebel Yell straight Kentucky bourbon whiskey. Now, the reason why I paired these two together, the main reason is the sweetness from this bourbon helps with the baking spice and the black pepper that comes off of the cigar. So, that being said, I'm going to go ahead and let you know this bourbon was only $18 with tax here in Ohio. You could pick it up on their last call. Yep, this is one of them balling on that budget bottles. And the cigar itself, if you order 5, you could get the cigar for 10 bucks. So yes, this is a $30 experience. And I will let you know how I'm rating it, how they're both going, and how I feel about them. But that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get into this a little bit more, and I'll let you know how they're pairing up. Okay, everyone, let's get back into it. Now, as you can see, the cigar got that heavy shag burn going. Meaning it's all business up front here, but in the back, we got a nice little party going. That being said, the cigar, unlike the red label one, this sucker is a black bomb terrorist. I mean, you get it on your lips, you get it on the palate, and you get it on the retrohale. Now, that being said, you also get what they call baking spice coming throughout this. And that's why I paired it with this Rebel Yell bourbon. The main reason, to have the sweetness from the bourbon combat all of the heavy pepperiness. Now, does it stop it? No, but it does lower it a little bit, and it isn't quite so prevalent on the palate. Even though it never goes away, it dies down. Now, other than that, as you can see, the cigar is also quite veiny. As you can see up top, heading down through the body. Other than that, like I said, this is a Nicaraguan now I'm illiterate. A Nicaraguan Puro, and it is, to me, one of the best cigars you could get from Foundation. I've always loved this particular cigar. Even though I like the red label, the blue label one has always done it for me. I also hit it with an oversized hole punch, as you can see. I want all of that flavor funneled in and delivered. Now, this cigar also is extremely smoky. So when you puff on it, you're going to get large plumes of smoke coming off of this. Now, the aromatics on this cigar, though, is actually quite mild. It isn't as strong as the red label, but overall, the cigar itself, if I say the red label's a medium body, this one right here, because of the black pepper and the baker spice, is a full body cigar. So if you get this to a newbie, you're going to fry their senses, because they're not going to be able to taste a lot of the flavors coming off of this, because it's so heavy with the black pepper. All right, folks, I will see you at the halfway point. Now, let's get into this Rebel Yell bourbon. First of all, the honey and the vanilla coming off of this helps fight the heavy pepper coming off of the cigar. Now, what it is, on top of that, it's quite oaky when you pair it with the cigar. The main reason, the spices in the cigar, what they call baker spice in this oak, tend to have a nice little clash on your palate. So, again, if you're not a strong fan of something extremely oaky, you may want to drink this bourbon by itself, because if you pair it with this cigar, with the baker spice, it turns up the oak flavor, and it also allows you to taste the baker spice coming off of the cigar just as well. Now, that being said, these two right now, they're rocking at a solid 7.5. And for something that didn't cost even $30 total before tax, hey, you can't beat this experience. If we get a little bit better flavor coming off, and if there's a major flavor profile change from the cigar causing this bourbon to have a flavor profile change, or vice versa, I will let you know in the next little short video. We have now made it to the halfway point. As you can see, that burn is still off. It still wants to have a shag, even to the point where I had to give it a touch-up light. There's also, as you can see, a decent little crack that formed in this as the cigar heated up even more. Now, the flavor profile change has happened. You're starting to get heavier baker spice, and the oakiness off of the cigar is starting to become more prevalent. Now, as far as the whiskey is concerned with this, these two you're definitely going to have to use to offset each other. Because right now, I'm talking about on my lips, the burn from the pepper is there. No matter how I try to puff on this, it's just that palate gets hit with that heavy blast, but it's not as strong. You could taste it, but on your lips you could really feel it. And far as it goes through the retrohale, it's still there, but it comes and goes with that baker spice. That being said, this cigar itself, I would give it like an 8, a solid 8. To me, to me it's an 8, but I'm kind of biased. I love this cigar, even like I said, even more than the red label one. This cigar has always been one of those suckers that it delivers. It's tightly packed. It's such an open flow. You can use it as a straw if you wanted to. And it delivers everything you want from a full body cigar in spades. That being said, I'll see you at the final third. And I would definitely have to fight to get this band off because unfortunately there's a little bit of pectin on the wrapper, so they're stuck together. All right, folks. Okay, everyone. Let me tell you how I feel about this bourbon. This bourbon right here to me is a 6.5. It's not bad. It's not good. It's just a filler. Meaning, if you don't want to go ahead and spend a lot of money on a bourbon, you just want something to sip on and relax a little, this one is it for you. The honey that comes off of this is great. It has a slight little citrus kick, but the oakiness and the sweetness that I would say the sweetness made, like I said, the honey, but if you ever had a blood orange, it got a little twinge of that also. It's very good with heavily peppered cigars or ones that requires a little bit of toning down because of the spices in it. So if you want to have something that's enjoyable, yes. Is it something to write home mom about? No, it is not. But it is what it is, and it does do its job. That being said, if I had to, 6.5. But these two together, I would say it's a 7. Yeah, the more I think of it, the more I taste it, I'm going to go ahead and give these two a 7. Like I said, it's not the best, but it's definitely not the worst. All right, folks. So we have made it to the final third. As you can see, the burn is still off. It got that kiddie roller coaster burn going on. And unfortunately, I had to hit it, 3 times with a touch-up light. Why? As you can see, some of the wrapper is missing because there was pectin on it. And I also had to give it a little bit of a finger twist like this to help air get through. Because as you get further down, the burn and the draw starts to get a little bit tighter. That being said, this still is a very solid cigar. And like I said, I would give the cigar itself an 8. But together with this bourbon, I'm giving them a 7. The flavor profile hasn't changed. You're still getting that pepper on the lips. And you're getting that baker spice and that oak mainly now coming off of the cigar. Also, the aromatics is giving you that oaky flavor. That oaky smell. So if you had a couple of cigars that had that oak going on with it, that's what's happening with this right now. Again, I love these cigars. Is this the best? No. The best to me is, I'm going to have to go get it. I can't remember the name of the wine. Yes, it's a wine that I prefer to have with this. The wine is fruity, it's aromatic, and it's a sparkling wine. Those two go together way better than this bourbon will. So my next review, like I said, I'm going to start doing them for the ladies and things I suggest that goes with a cigar, because sometimes women don't want to drink whiskey or bourbon. And truthfully, fellas, you need to expand sometimes, and there are a lot of good wines that go with cigars. And those will be the pairings that I'll be doing, I would say, for the next in between 3 to 6 videos. All right, folks. That being said, I'm going to say what I always say. If you have a lot of cigars, smoke them. And if you have an abundance of cigars, share them with your friends and try to make another cigar head. All right, folks, I'm out. And I'm being honest, there's another crack in here. So if there's going to be a little bit more roughness and things going on, you'll see the pictures, but it won't be a video. All right, folks, see y'all on the next cigar.
Age 14, made a microphone fiend from a one-night fling. Erased the insecurity, a moment of purity. Feeling low, the world was flooring me, and I acted accordingly. Claimed my free spirit, this was soft fleeces. Tore me to pieces, caught a seamstress. Now I'm better now, coochie sweating now. Feeling gave me reason to treason. Not resting on the weekend became a trademark. On point like darts, I became cardiac arrested. To bars that's in my heart, the art now a part of my soul. Mama stocking pot filters never get old. Or my dad's mics, long nights turn to flashing lights. Studio flights, now you be rhyming on the back of a bike. You fall off in the fast lane, trying to chase the mundane, when music brought me through the pain. Man, believe, keep believing. All these long nights will come to light. On the winding road it always comes around. On the winding road it always comes around. Always comes now around. I remember when the world felt December like a antifreeze. Stresses and aggression was neglecting all my basic needs. Welfare cash lower than the basic